Hey everybody, Bill Shirk, the man about the woods. You've been warned. I hope you have seatbelts on whatever chair you happen to be sitting on. Much of that to do about my guest today, partner in crime. I'll explain in a second, but oh boy, here we go. It's the Minnesota Bound Podcast. Bill Shirk, the man about the woods. These are the stories behind the stories, and today we are traveling north, way north, up to the Canadian border town on the Minnesota side of Warroad. And my partner in crime, Troy Knechtel.
Thank you. No, it is all my life. No, it's not. No, you pronounce the K. Thank you for having me.
I'm going to paint the picture. Your hair is reaching for the stars right now. You've got this cool headset with a microphone. It's like 2 below zero, and you have flip-flops on.
It's not 2 below zero.
All right, it's 2 above.
There you go.
Troy is one of our talented photojournalists, the guy who makes the pictures and helps document stories. And this past winter, we heard about a little something going on up on the border. And I had like half a sentence out of my mouth about it, and you're like, I'm in. I'm going.
I was thinking about it. It was like a year ago. I was in North Dakota, and I was driving. I was on a pheasant shoot, and I was heading to the field, and you called me up, and I was like, yeah, no, absolutely. Let's do that right now. It sounds like a blast.
The story being this: Hockeytown, USA is officially Warroad, Minnesota, home of the Marvins, Marvin Windows, and Lake of the Woods, TJ Oshie, Gigi Marvin, right?
Mm-hmm.
Hockey.
You drive there, and there's a giant billboard that says "Welcome to Hockeytown, USA," right? Then there's a tinier one that says "Welcome to Warroad," but the big one is "Welcome to Hockeytown, USA."
Hey, do you know this is an outdoor story podcast, not NHL?
Sure.
When Troy's not documenting for the shows, he's standing in goal with modest-looking pads, watching pucks zip by him.
Ooh, okay.
But
all except for your pucks, Bill.
I don't have pucks. I'm old. I'm a has-been. So this story pops up mid-COVID in Warroad. There's an ice trail up there. We go, oh, I wonder what an ice trail is. So you zip up there to document the story, and what did you find?
It was a Friday afternoon when I got there, and I was just getting some B-roll to town. I'd planned on shooting everything. The big day was Saturday when everybody kind of
B-roll. That's a little high tech. What is B-roll?
Everything that's not A-roll.
I give up.
No, I want to shoot the town. I want to get the drone shot of the water tower.
Bang, bang, bang.
I want to shoot basically
take video, document.
Yeah, exactly. And there is you drive right in and past the Hockeytown USA sign, and you cross over this bridge right over, Lake of the Woods is on one side, and then the river just kind of goes off, and it's frozen, but it's clean. Like usually, you see a frozen body of water in the wintertime, and there's snow on it, and this is clean. You could see it's a trail, and it just goes off into the distance, farther than I can see. And I circle back around, and there's a little pond there, and there's some kids playing, pickup and everything, and I just kind of mosey on down there. I start talking to people, and I meet this woman, and she actually, that's the other thing about Warroad, Minnesota, and any small town in Minnesota, that the kindest people you'll ever meet. And I tell her what I'm there to do, and I heard about your ice trail, and I'm going to shoot a little story, and I'm going to basically kind of be on cloud 9 for the next 36 hours. And she was like, well, check it out. Take my Ranger. And I'm like, really? She's like, yeah, of course. Just keys are in it. And, we got to take off, but just leave it right there. Leave the keys in the car or in the Ranger, and it'll be good. And so I'm like, okay. And I just hop out there and start driving down this trail, and it's closed at this point. Like they kind of have it where on the weekends they plow and they brush this frozen river, and it became this 2-mile long just skate path for everybody, for the entire town. I mean, it backs up to, community, and a lot of houses, and you see the cattails are still sticking out of the water, obviously, but it's all just frozen and it's polished and clean, and it was unlike anything I had ever seen before.
And that was the story we went to document, because what happened in that town, like every other dang town on this planet, everything shut down. So here in the middle of COVID, kids couldn't go into the arenas, they've got two in Warroad, to skate and play hockey. Well, they all skate outdoors anyhow, but one of the kids says, "Hey, Dad, can we clear a trail from our backyard rink to Johnny's backyard rink?" Dad goes, "Sure, we'll try it." And pretty soon they start connecting more and more and more and more.
It just cascaded.
And that becomes this trail. And then it becomes this destination. People come in from all over North America to skate Warroad's ice trail.
Yeah.
I mean, did you sense that? Was it 10 kids from town skating around? Or was
it was especially, I mean, Saturday morning, I'm out and about, and again, they wake up bright and early. They've got a plow attached to another ranger, and they actually got Polaris, I think, donated the brush, and they attached that to another ranger. And so you've got the brush going to clear off, or the plow going to clear off the trail from snow. It had snowed a couple inches the night before, and then you've got the brush to kind of polish it and make it, just pretty pristine, pretty perfect. And it was amazing. There was dads skating on it, pulling sleds with their kids behind them, and then they had, kids. I mean, there was a hockey team that was there training or something. They were all in their jerseys, and they're just kind of convoying down the trail. And I'm like, I can't possibly shoot all of this. It just kind of, it was crazy. But yeah, everybody was just out and about on a Saturday morning skating the trail. It was the thing to do. It was the place to be.
I don't want to sound too self-serving, but I know that hockey team.
Yeah, that's right. You
small world, right?
We're looking
I'm
at
a
the
youth
footage,
coach in the Orono system, and it was our Orono Pee Wee team that happened to be up in Warroad, I think, for one of the Warroad tournaments. And that's part of the deal. Like I'm coaching Pee Wees this year, and in 2 weeks, guess what? We go to Warroad to play, and all the kids want to do besides swim in a pool when they're not playing hockey is go to that dang ice trail and skate it. So it's kind of funny that,
that was
the kids
team
I know are skating in your darn story.
Yeah. Well, and again, that was just kind of everything was happening. I was trying to, my mind was going crazy with just everything I wanted to shoot, but every story you kind of have to pick and choose sometimes with what you want to get, because we're not going to slow anybody down for anything. And so I had a couple of interviews that I wanted to shoot, some people I wanted to talk to for the story, and I was skating around. I did put skates on, and
do goalies know how to skate?
We're actually the best skaters on the ice.
Yeah, I can tell.
Mm-hmm. No, we more control than anybody else. Not the fastest, but definitely more control of our blades.
Neat.
But no, we I just families were there, kind of hanging out, and again, it was not like, this is February in northern Minnesota. It's probably 5,
of which you've never experienced before.
Oh no, not at all. That was
you're the new guy. You've only been here year and a half now?
2 years. 2 years in January, Bill. Thank you. Yes.
No way.
I know.
Coming from Colorado.
Yes, I've definitely experienced some cold weather in Colorado, but it was bitter. It was real cold, but smiles all around. People are they're having a blast. What I thought was really, really cool was, like I said, the trail goes from people's houses in this little kind of subsection community of the town all the way to the brewery and into the Lake of the Woods. So that's what people would do, is they would kind of hang out. They're meeting up in their backyards, like, hey, we're going to throw our skates on. We're going to skid over to the brewery and have a beer. And I mean, it was just more than just exercise and a cool thing to do in the wintertime. It was a way people were getting around town. They kind of just was like, hey, we got this little highway system and everybody knows how to skate. The very first person I saw on skates was 3 years old. It was this little boy that was just, stick in hand, just shuffling around.
And what's weird is he scored on you too.
No, I didn't have the pads there, but he probably.
Sorry, a little goalie humor.
At this moment now, I wouldn't be surprised if he just had a missile of a shot. He's like 4 years old now, and I mean that they're born on skates. There, it's you hear about that. You hear about coming to the state of hockey, and I was very, very excited to move here and do that. And obviously things shut down, and I didn't get to play a lot of hockey last year. So when this story particularly came along, I was like, that's why I was so excited to do it, to see it, and to see that community, and just experience what a true Minnesota hockey town is.
All right, so somebody's going to be listening to this and say, well, wait a second. Is this a hockey story or is this a Minnesota-bound story?
I mean, it is a Minnesota-bound story, and I've had to be reminded of that several times when I was editing it, because it could easily be a hockey story for me. But no, it's I think it's both. It's a town that has such a strong tie and passion to the game of hockey. I mean, 1,800 people, right? 8 Olympians. That's insane. They've throughout. I actually met one of the guys at Izzy's, and he's this
Izzy's is the local bar and grill.
Yeah, so
with all the hockey lore hanging on the walls and the ceiling.
They've got a photograph of every single one of the Olympic players, and I met one of them. He played on the 1960 team. This older gentleman, and I asked him if I could, talk to him a little bit, and he just he's like, no, talk to the kids, and he was very, very humble about everything, but just a cool place where, like me, hockey is kind of life. And the fact that, again, you get life gives you lemons and you make lemonade. That's exactly kind of what happened with the Warroad Ice Trail. It's like, well, we can't go and skate and have our tournaments. We can't do our games, and we but it's not going to stop us. We're still going to, figure out a way to make this happen. And through that resilience, you got a beautiful gift for the community and for, the state.
Yep.
And really just kind of shows off like, hey, there's nobody better than, Minnesota when it comes to skating and hockey and outdoor recreation, really.
All right. I want to talk to you a little bit about the changes they are making to it for this winter, because it's freezing right now. But first, we need to pay a couple of bills. You are listening to the Minnesota Bound podcast, The Stories Behind the Stories. My guest today, Troy Knechtel, photojournalist extraordinaire for Minnesota Bound. And I'm Bill Shirk, the man about the woods. Up first, I'd like to thank Thousand Hills Lifetime Grazed Beef. We make careers talking about clean water, native habitat, and the best environmental practices here at Minnesota Bound. It is exactly why I love our sponsor, Thousand Hills Lifetime Grazed Beef. It is locally raised beef done differently. Let me explain. See, Thousand Hills uses what is called regenerative agriculture to raise cattle. Those beef cows, they graze in fields of wild grasses, and they move between different fields, different plots of grass. It is a sustainable ecosystem free of synthetic fertilizers and chemical herbicides. It is a system of agriculture that promotes clean water, natural grasses, and the end result, the best beef you've tasted. Of course, the Shirk family, we love grilling and smoking, and we do it several times a week, and now we cook using Thousand Hills Lifetime Grazed Beef. The boys look so forward to those meals between hockey games and practices. It is beef raised the right way. Check out Thousand Hills Lifetime Grazed Beef to understand regenerative agriculture and fall in love with Thousand Hills beef. Also, we would like to thank the Minnesota Propane Association.
Hi, I'm Laura Shera, and did you know that a propane gas furnace lifespan averages 20 years, while electric heat pumps only last 14 years? And propane furnaces work in all temperatures while delivering warm and consistent heat to your home. Why buy 2 heating systems when one propane furnace can do it all? It lasts longer, works better, and it costs less. These things and more are done with propane today. The right energy right now.
Okay. Photojournalist extraordinaire Troy Knechtel and I work together on lots of stories, whether it's hunting, fishing, camping, great outdoor characters, conservation. But this winter story up in Warroad just kind of grabbed your heart a little bit.
I would say, I think that I am very, very fortunate to get to go on some, especially over the last year and a half, some really, really cool shoots. Shoot some really cool stories and meet some great people. But that one, again, being so close to hockey myself and playing my whole life and being such a fan, I mean, I got to combine the two things I love. I got to combine photography and hockey. I mean, it's hard. It's going to be really hard to top that story. I mean, I'm going to look back and think about it for a long, long time. And I skated a river, Bill. I skated 2 miles of river.
That's kind of what we do here, Troy. It's a thing. We skate on lakes too.
Well, I skate on lakes. I've skated on lakes in Colorado, but there's a few, not 10,000, but there's like a few of them.
Yeah, like 6.
Yeah,
and I think they're called reservoirs.
No, the ones in the mountains are lakes. You got Evergreen and you got Horsetooth is a reservoir, but no, it was again just a really, really cool, I mean, amazing time. I'm gonna just have fond memories of that forever.
Well, you get to go back and do it again if you want. That was kind of what we talked about. There are some changes coming this year.
They're extending it, right?
It's going from 2.5 miles to 5 miles.
Yeah.
5 miles. And to paint the picture a little bit, yes, Warroad is this little border town. It's kind of flat. It's on the edge of Lake of the Woods. There's a little downtown, and then you've got this meandering Warroad River, which just goes back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Oxbows, they call them, right? It's going east, then it's going west, then it's going north, then it's going south. It just curls around and around and around. And they're going to expand this thing because so many people, again, not just from Minnesota, but all over the country, are turning Warroad into a dang destination in January. It's crazy.
Which is, I mean, it is a little crazy to think about that. Yeah. But no, there was a guy we talked to from New York who had come out there, and I mean, obviously all over. I talked to a couple of ladies from the Twin Cities, talked to somebody from Bemidji, North Dakota, South Dakota. I mean, it's really nuts to think about that this little town that's just, known for one kind of thing, it became a winter hotspot, winter destination.
Yep.
And again, they don't they have there's a new hotel there too. And
there is. A buddy of mine who played hockey actually built it.
That's
it has rooms that are knee hockey rinks,
yes,
boards and crowds, so that the kids don't get kicked out of hotels for playing knee hockey in the hallways. Now they just say, go to room 413, and it's this little indoor arena.
Well, I like what you were saying about just your team that you coach, that, now, you guys are going there for a tournament anyway, and it's not about, kind of hanging out at the pool or the hotel or anything. No, we want to get outside and we're going to skate this river.
Yeah. And it doesn't matter if it's 20 degrees or 28 below zero. Mm-hmm. People will still do it because it's who we are.
The very first thing I learned when I moved to Minnesota was somebody told me there's no bad weather. There's only poor clothing choices, right?
Yes. Flip-flops?
I mean,
let me paint another picture as a wordsmith here.
Mm-hmm.
So Troy is a very talented goalie, and while I'm old, I still skate each week. And
you're very kind.
You've been skating with our crew.
Call me talented, yeah.
And afterwards, it's kind of a ritual that every once in a while you go out to the trucks and you have a beer to celebrate surviving another night of old man hockey. So we stand outside in this 2-degree weather, and my buddy says, "What's wrong with him? He's wearing flip-flops." And you're like, yeah, you don't want to wear shoes after you play hockey.
Not unless you have a dedicated pair of shoes you want to get all smelly and stinky. I mean, no, that's just it. You put the shoes on.
Did you notice the arena had showers?
They did. They're blocked off though, so I've been a little skeptical about it. I don't know. When we were playing in Plymouth, they don't even let us use the showers, and so I'm like, okay, well, I'll just hop over to the gym and use the shower there. But no, the flip-flops are, well, they're just comfortable, man. And yeah, that's all I got to say about that. But I always have an extra pair of socks in the hockey bag for when I need to put the skates on. So that was part of the whole thing. I knew when I went up there, and I had a story to shoot, and I had some work to do, and I had a limited time to do it because winters, obviously, you're going to lose the sun a lot quicker. And I really, really wanted this piece to be something special. And it is. And the very end of it, though, I was like, nope, I need to take a few minutes. And I skated the whole thing, 2 miles up and back. And I felt like Stevie Weeks in Mystery Alaska. Just opening shot, he's just skating the river. And I'm like, yep, this is an experience of a lifetime.
It begs the question, why don't more communities do this? There are rivers all over, there are lakes all over Minnesota, right? I mean, more people could do it, but I guess it just takes enough work and coordination and time and effort that, maybe Warroad started something and there'll be trails all over the place.
Think about that. Think about, like, I know that Minneapolis has a very diverse bike trail system where you can, go from one side of the city through to the St. Paul, the other, and hit all these different spots. What if a couple of small towns made it so you could just literally skate from town to town?
Yep.
And again, check out, restaurant here, some shops over here, couple of breweries again. But
well, I don't want to give away the obvious, but that's another story you and I are working on. Lake Minnetonka has several communities, in 4 corners of that dang lake. And when it freezes the right way every fall, or I can't say that, but if the ice freezes and is clean, these families, they hop out and they skate 5 miles over to Wayzata to have breakfast and then skate back home. Or the parents go to Excelsior to have dinner at Maynard. Like, it's a different lifestyle. But the problem is the window is so finite because the lake only freezes clear to skate the entire thing, once every 6 years without getting snow and slush and all that stuff. So right now it looks like we could have our opportunity here in the next week or two if this cold weather continues. We'll see. But
the skates are in the car, man. They're always there ready.
Goalie skates or hockey skates?
I wear hockey skates, actually.
Interesting.
Yeah, I had some goalie skates when I really got seriously into it. But at that point, my parents had bought me just regular skates because they weren't sure if I was going to like, playing goalie. And when I was into it, they got me some goalie skates, and I was so used to the regular ones that I was like, I don't like this.
I can't skate on these.
This is weird. I'm short, and the edge is all flat, and they're just So
the big difference between goalie skates and hockey skates, right?
It's the blades.
No. Goalies wear hockey skates and hockey players wear hockey skates.
The protection.
No. We'll keep working on it.
You're not going to tell me.
All right, let's pay some more bills. You're listening to the Minnesota Bound Podcast, the stories behind the stories. Now you know what it sounds like when we sit in vehicles driving to a destination 8 hours away. We're just bickering like brothers and debating where we should eat lunch and all that stuff. All right. I would like to thank North Dakota Tourism, one of our key partners. Start planning your fall hunt in North Dakota at legendarynd.com. North Dakota is home to more than 800,000 hunting acres. Plots. Those are private lands that are opened to public hunting. Landowners say, come on and hunt. And the plots guides, they show you exactly where all that land sits. North Dakota's ringneck pheasant crowing counts are up 15% this year. And the state is also home to an estimated 2.9 million breeding ducks. It is an absolute outdoor oasis just waiting. Bag your limit this fall in North Dakota. Visit legendarynd.com. Also, we want to thank our good friends at Star Bank.
Hi there, Ron Shera here for Star Bank. If you're putting your money into mega banks down the street, who knows where that money's being used? Bank locally. Keep your money local with a community bank that actually cares about you, your family, your business, and your goals. Check out the bank we use at Minnesota Bound. Try Minnesota's own Star Bank. You can find them online at starbank.net. When you call Star Bank, you actually hear a real living person answering the phone. Star Bank has 10 convenient locations around Minnesota to serve you and all the mobile banking products that you need to manage your money. Check out all that Star Bank has to offer at starbank.net.
Finally, Connecticut. Do you know Connecticut? The Shirks love Connecticut water. We live in the country and we have plenty of that ironclad well water. Well, we treat all of our water with the Connecticut whole home water treatment system. And we also use Connecticut's K5 drinking water systems. The boys love it. They will not go to soccer or hockey without filling their water bottles at home. And also, that white buildup you get around faucets, we've got none of that. The dishes are clean, and Katie loves what Connecticut water does for both her hair and her skin. Call Connecticut like we did and look forward to clean, safe water. All right. We've talked a lot about Warroad's Ice Trail. You can see that story. It is up on mnbound.com under episodes. It's also on YouTube. And there are some other stories out there because people documented it last winter. Your advice, if people hear this, try and say, oh, we should go to Warroad and check it out. What do you tell them to do?
Absolutely. You have to. It's don't just go for, a day and come back. I spend the weekend there. It's a cool spot. There's a lot of cool little shops in the town. Again, they got a brewery. They got Izzy's, the hockey bar. I mean, if you're a fan, and you can just go there and I mean, they play the high school games at this bar. That's what they do.
They don't actually play in the bar. They put them on TV.
That's true.
So you can
that's
watch
what
them
I meant. That's what I meant. But no, and really just go experience it. Go skate the river. Go be Stevie Weeks from Mystery Alaska. I'm telling you, like that's my go-to when I tell people this.
The other thing that is amazing about those towns, I'm talking Baudette, Roseau, Thief, Warroad. You go into local bars, and the hockey talk about high school stats is awe-inspiring. Somebody will be sitting at the bar and say, yeah, in 86, Tommy Johnson had 43 assists that season. Somebody will go, no, that year he had 42. And then they go to these books and they start thumbing through and they go, see, 42. It was, Dan Jenkins who had the 43 assists. And they go, oh, yeah, that's right. I forgot about that game against. It's just amazing, the passion. So the fact that they have all these little backyard hockey rinks connected by this trail and that people are so passionate about sharing it makes sense to me. Go up, see Izzy's. The little hockey statistic is every U.S. men's Olympic team that has ever won gold has had a player from Warroad on the team.
Yeah.
Right? That's kind of cool in itself. Gigi. Mm-hmm. Gigi Marvin, obviously of Marvin fame, the big family name up there, but she's an Olympian. She represents the state of hockey, right? And that's her home turf. So that's a big story in that town. It represents so many of the things that we cherish here in the land of 10,000 frozen lakes and one river with an ice trail. What's your next assignment? You have any big winter shoots coming up this year you're looking forward to?
Apparently we're going winter camping.
Ooh, that sounds intriguing. What's that?
I'm going to go sleep in an igloo.
An igloo? Like an igloo cooler?
No, it's a Quincy, I believe is what the official term is, where you build up you basically make a snow fort.
Yep.
And you sleep in the snow fort and hope it doesn't cave in on you. And
wow. A fatalist.
That's well, I don't think it would be fatal. I think it would just be probably the most uncomfort I've ever experienced in my life if a snow fort caved in on me in negative, what'd you say, 30-degree weather?
It's not going to cave in because you're going to build it the right way. I will help teach you.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone knows I have a very soft spot for winter camping, always have. We do it safely. We do it efficiently. And I guarantee you, Troy, that by day 2 of the trip, you're going to be out on some frozen lake off the grid walking around in a sweatshirt. And I'm going to look at you and say, see, it happened. Mm-hmm. You're going to go, what? Well, it happened. You'll probably have flip-flops on at that point.
Well, when that happens, you may say, I told you so. And I know you will. But, you were telling me about this the other day, and I'm like, I get called crazy because I like to get little rubber discs fired at me at 80, 90 miles an hour. And I mean, you're giving me a run for my money, man. It's just the winter camping. I more than curious more than anything, I'm curious about just how all of this works. And, we've been in a teepee in Montana shooting a story. That was very cold. But, I mean, yeah, just to kind of go out there and say I did all this will be very, very, very interesting. I'm a little cold like right now thinking about it, but
Because you have flip-flops on. And
Yeah,
it's
but
2 below 0 outside.
it's not.
All right, it's 2 above. We're lucky to have you. Your stories are beautiful. You know how to shoot, you know how to edit, and you do it with passion. So
Thank you.
love having you on the team, and that is what Minnesota Bound is all about. All right, we're getting back to work. There you go. The story behind the story. Again, if you want to check out the Warroad Ice Trail story, it is up on the Minnesota Bound YouTube page and also our website. Keep up the good work, T. I'll talk to you soon.
Thanks, man. I can't wait.
I'd like to thank all the sponsors that make the Minnesota Bound podcast happen. The stories behind the stories, presented by Connecticut Water Treatment Systems. The Shirk family uses Connecticut. You should too. Also, Thousand Hills Lifetime Grazed Beef. Tasty beef raised the right way. North Dakota Tourism. Plan your hunt at legendarynd.com. Star Bank, the bank we use at Ron Shera Productions, and the Minnesota Propane Association. Until next week, as we always say, don't forget to introduce a kid to the great outdoors.